A wedding is a carefully planned celebration of love, lace, and expensive catering, all for that one perfect moment of "I do." But reality has a wicked sense of humor, and sometimes the universe throws in a plot twist straight out of a fever dream. We're diving into the strangest, most unforgettable wedding moments in America. Stories that made everyone say, "Oh no, this can't be happening." These aren't your usual mishaps. They're the kind of chaos that turns vows into viral legends. Buckle up, because love may be blind, but disaster sees everything. 1. Picture a sun-drenched vineyard wedding in Napa Valley, where the air smells like grapes and eternal bliss. The bride, radiant in her designer gown, is about to toss the bouquet when a rogue peacock, yes, the venue's charming mascot, spots the flowers and charges like it's auditioning for Jurassic Park. It leaps, snatches the bouquet mid-air, and struts off triumphantly, tail feathers fanned out in mockery. The single ladies scatter in a feathered frenzy, while the bride yells, "That's not how evolution works." The peacock later photobombs every group shot, turning the album into a wildlife documentary. 2. In a cozy Midwest barn wedding, the couple opts for a rustic chic vibe with hay bales and fairy lights. But during the vows, a hidden family of raccoons, evidently offended by the intrusion, emerges from the rafters like furry ninjas. One grabs the ring-bearer's pillow, mistaking the bands for shiny trash treasures, and a chaotic chase ensues. Guests dodge scampering bandits, the groom trips over a bale, and the officiant quips, "Do you take this woman and her new pet raccoon?" The rings are recovered, but the cake ends up with paw prints, nature's confetti. 3. At a glamorous Miami Beach ceremony, the theme is tropical paradise, with palm fronds and steel drums. As the bride walks down the aisle, a massive coconut dislodges from a tree above, plummeting like a fruity meteor straight toward the groom's head. He ducks just in time, but it smashes into the sand altar, exploding in a shower of milk and shards. The best man, quick on his feet, grabs a chunk and toasts, "To coconuts, may your marriage be just as nuts." Laughter drowns out the waves, and they rename the event Coconuptials. 4. Envision a historic church wedding in Boston, all stained glass and solemn hymns. The flower girl, a pint-sized diva, decides midway down the aisle that her petal basket is actually a drum set. She starts banging it rhythmically, chanting "ring-a-ding-dong," like a tiny rock star. The organist tries to overpower her, but it devolves into an impromptu jam session. The bride cracks up, joins in with claps, and the congregation turns it into a flash mob. By the end, even the priest is grooving, proof that holy matrimony rocks. 5. In a snowy Colorado mountain lodge wedding, the couple plans a romantic sleigh ride exit. But the horses, spooked by fireworks, who thought that was a good idea, bolt off script, dragging the sleigh through powder like a derailed toboggan. Bride and groom cling for dear life, veering into a snowbank where they tumble out in a fluffy heap. Guests ski over to rescue them, and the photographer captures the avalanche of love. They laugh it off with hot cocoa, dubbing it their white wedding wipeout. 6. At a quirky Las Vegas chapel drive-through wedding, because why not? The couple pulls up in a rented convertible, Elvis impersonator officiating via speaker. Mid-vows, a flock of pigeons descends, mistaking the car's shiny hood for a buffet. Feathers fly, beaks peck at confetti, and one bird perches on the groom's head like a feathered crown. Elvis belts out "Viva Las Vegas" to scare them off, turning the ceremony into a bird-brained ballad. They seal it with a kiss amid coos. Talk about winging it. 7. Imagine an elegant New York rooftop affair, skyline twinkling like diamonds. The first dance begins under a chandelier, but a sudden gust whips up, sending the bride's veil sailing off the building like a ghostly parachute. It drifts down 30 stories, landing on a hot dog vendor below, who waves it like a flag. Guests peer over the edge in horror, while the groom radios security, "Veil down!" Repeat, "Veil down!" They improvise with a napkin tiara, and the vendor gets invited up for cake, urban romance at its finest. 8. In a southern plantation wedding in Georgia, complete with magnolias and mint juleps, the ring-bearer is the family goat, dressed in a tiny tux, naturally. Halfway down the aisle, it spots the floral arch and chomps a mouthful of roses, then belches loudly during the "Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace" bit. The officiant pauses, guests giggle, and the goat wanders off to nibble boutonnieres. The couple exchanges rings amid goat bleats, declaring it the greatest of all-time wedding. 9. At a tech-savvy Silicon Valley ceremony, the couple incorporates drones for aerial photos. But one malfunctions mid-vows, buzzing erratically like a drunk bee and dive-bombing the cake table. It crashes into the frosting, emerging covered in icing like a sugary kamikaze. Guests scream, the drone operator panics, and the groom fishes it out, quipping, "Our love just got upgraded to crash-proof." The video goes viral, proof that even AI can't handle weddings. 10. Picture a lakeside Minnesota wedding, serene and mosquito-free, or so they thought. As the bride tosses her bouquet, it arcs perfectly, straight into the water, where a curious loon surfaces and snags it in its beak. The bird swims off triumphantly, bouquet trailing like a watery trophy. Single guests wade in vain, while the groom jokes, "Looks like love's for the birds." They fish it out with a net, soggy but intact, turning the toss into a lunatic legend. 11. In a fiery Texas ranch wedding with barbecue and boots, the unity candle ceremony goes awry when a gust fans the flame into a mini bonfire. It ignites the tablecloth, and the best man douses it with his beer, creating a foamy, smoky mess. The bride fans the air, laughing, "Our love's too hot to handle." Guests applaud the quick save, and they rename the ritual Unity Inferno. No one got singed, but the photos smell like victory. 12. At a whimsical Seattle coffee-themed wedding, the couple serves espresso shots instead of champagne. But the barista machine explodes mid-toast, spewing foam like a caffeinated geyser over the head table. Bride and groom are drenched in latte art, guests slip on the slick floor, and the DJ spins, "Wake me up before you go-go." They mop up with napkins, dubbing it their brew-teeful disaster, perking up the party like never before. 13. Envision a Halloween-timed wedding in Salem, Massachusetts, with costumes encouraged. The zombie ring-bearer takes it too seriously, shuffling down the aisle groaning, "Brayans," and dropping the rings into a cauldron prop. They fish them out amid fog machine haze, but not before a witch guest cackles wildly. The vows proceed with spooky flair, and the couple toasts, "Till death do us part," literally. It becomes the haunt of the season. 14. In an eco-friendly California redwood forest wedding, a squirrel army invades during the picnic reception, drawn by nut favors. They swarm tables, stealing bites of cake and scampering up dresses. Guests shoo them with bouquets, the groom builds a nut barricade, and the bride laughs, "Our wedding's gone nuts." They relocate indoors, but one squirrel hitches a ride in the getaway car, furry honeymoon crasher. 15. At a musical Broadway-inspired New York wedding, the vows include a flash mob. But the hired dancers mix up cues, bursting into single ladies during the ring exchange. The groom joins in awkwardly, the bride twerks in her gown, and guests film the mayhem. The officiant halts it with a mic drop, "All the married people, put your hands up." Chaos turns choreographed, stealing the show. 16. Picture a stormy Florida Keys beach wedding, where lightning strikes a nearby palm, toppling it toward the altar. Guests dive for cover, the tree misses by inches, and coconuts roll like bowling balls. The couple, soaked and stunned, exchange vows under umbrellas, toasting shocking love. The photos capture electric energy, nature's fireworks display. 17. In a vintage Hollywood glamour wedding in L.A., the cake is a replica Oscar statue. But the baker skimps on structure, and it topples during cutting, golden fondant splattering celebrities, okay, lookalikes. The groom scoops a handful, and the award for best mess goes to us. Laughter ensues, turning the flop into a star-studded smash. 18. At a minimalist desert wedding in Arizona, a sandstorm whips up mid-ceremony, burying the aisle in dunes. Guests shield eyes, the bride's veil becomes a sail, and they huddle like Bedouins. The officiant shouts vows over the wind, "In sand and in health." They emerge gritty but grinning, renaming it their Dune Moon Prelude. 19. Finally, in a quirky Portland food truck wedding, the Unity Sandwich ritual involves assembling a giant sub. But it collapses under toppings, avalanching mayo and meats onto the couple. They slip in the mess, guests pelt pickles playfully, and the DJ cues, "We are family." Amid the edible anarchy, they kiss saucily, "Our love's stacked with flavor." And there you have it, 19 slices of wedding weirdness that prove even the strangest, oh dear God, no moments can bind hearts tighter than any vow. But chaos loves company, so drop your wildest wedding tale in the comments for story number 20. Who knows? Yours might top a peacock heist or raccoon ring raid. Remember, folks, in the grand theater of love, the best scripts are the ones that go gloriously off-book. If these tales made you rethink your own I do, smash that subscribe, because matrimony's mayhem is just getting started.